was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He finds Hurns left side. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Detroit! Over! They'll set up a throw. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They go play action here on 1st down. And that's incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And now it's 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. He'll look to throw. Cooper's got it. And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. It's 1st and 10 at the 14.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. The give is to Elliott. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. And a good sign for them right now to have their young quarterback looking confident on the opening drive.
Now, we haven't met a young quarterback, a veteran quarterback. It doesn't matter. We haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't tell us he's confident about his abilities, right?
That's true.
But when you're young, it's really important to get off to a good start because it does build up that confidence and allows him to play better as the game goes on.
Especially crucial here on the road. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here we go now. Green.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
Check, 55 to right. Check, 55 to right.
Detroit! Detroit! Hot! Hot!
Back to throw now on 1st down. And his throw here's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun! 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 Gun!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
All right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Gun! 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 Hot! Over! Hot!
Looking to throw. Man open, that's Ray McCloud. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Leopard! Leopard! No. Check. Patriot! Patriot!
Hey, watch that. Check right 54. Right 54.
Hot! Hot!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Mike's 50.
Now back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. First down, he'll drop to throw. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Bo Scarborough, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he powers his way up past the 30. Minkah Fitzpatrick made the play defensively, the first-round pick out of Alabama.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Call it no gain on the keeper. It's going to bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Fielded just inside the 20. A little juke. Oh, and now he bowls him over. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Leopard! Leopard!
A first down carry by Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
Now that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They'll drop to throw. A dump off to Elliott. Again, it's a track meet.
Can you freeze that picture?
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They go option right on second and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tyrod Taylor, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys are in for 6.
Partner, it wasn't that long ago that when I talk with these NFL coaches about different innovations in the college game, you can see their eyes roll and they just shut down right away. Don't bring me that Joe College stuff. Well, guess what? The college game has definitely infiltrated its way into the NFL.
Yeah, and these guys, when you're seeing the option defensively, you got to stick to your assignments. I know that's cliche. They didn't do it there.
And option football means exactly what you just talked about. Assignment football for defenders. And that drives them crazy because you have to think your way through a play as opposed to just reacting and making the play.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. His throw incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. From the 34, they'll come to the line on second and 10. Back to throw now on second and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. Third and 10.
Let's go! White, 90! White, 90!
Now Brissett, the backup, his first throw. He's going to air one out. This is caught at the 20. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. It's a big play on third down for the Seahawks. 51 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Brissett now on second down. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
The Seahawks on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 5.
Let's go! White 90! White 90!
Out of the gun, Brissett. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off, Byron Jones. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6, obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Two minutes to go here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio!
Brissett to throw on first. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. From the gun, here's Brissett. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar.
Circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Flushed out right. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Brissett on first down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. David Irving in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30.
Let's go. What? 90. What? 90. Flex round. Flex round.
A first down throw for Brissett. That's going to be caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Ray McLeod in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a three-point game now as they send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Cowboys. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And they'll go on the ground. Always got some breathing room. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On play action, Brissett trying to lay one up deep. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. Parker, the intended target. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one good for 33 and a first.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
They'll set up to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. It's the fullback, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys turn that interception into a touchdown. Gold with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gold now out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now set to take over on offense. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now It's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late.
Flex round! Flex round!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's complete to Lockett. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he's taken down inside the 30. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
1st down, Brissett. And throw right side complete to Parker. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54 fight.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the 1st half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Ohio! Ohio!
They go play action with Brissett. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The kick by Sanders is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good 3-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
This one fielded at the 5. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Over, 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 over.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. They'll step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
After the encroachment penalty, here's 2nd and 5. And on the ground they go with a running back. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Taylor going to run the option right, fighting through. And an out. He's all alone. Tyrod Taylor. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tyrod Taylor, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. So a designed run all the way, and he took it the distance. I don't know that anybody saw that come.
Well, on this play, how about the vision of him, being able to see the open field, make his move, and get there. Oftentimes, defenses have a spy for the quarterback position to try and take care of it. On that play, if they did, it certainly didn't work. Yeah, there's no doubt.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now come the Seahawks. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. On 1st and 10, Brissett. Over the middle, that's caught by McLeod. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off Byron Jones. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Gun! 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 Over! Detroit! Detroit!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And again the footwork. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys turn that interception into a touchdown. Gold to add the extra point. Gold able to tack on the extra point. Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Gold now out to kick it away. Now to return it, here's Kenyon Drake. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Let's go. One.
Second down, Brissett. He's got the hook up to McLeod. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. Brissett now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Here's Brissett. Baldwin with it over the middle. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Cowboys have recovered.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bathema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Taylor going to run the option right. Fights off the defender. A second broken tackle. He may try and run for this. Touchdown, Cowboys! Tyrod Taylor, his 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Well, plays like that make the O coordinator look like a genius, but I don't think he saw that play going that well.
No, I don't think so either, but boy, it all worked out perfectly. They caught them in the right defense, guys dropping off into coverage, their eyes averted somewhere else, and guess what? He filled the void with his legs.
On the return comes Drake. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, It changes momentum.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Tyrone Crawford in there to get him for a loss of 5. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Flex round. Come on, let's go. Red 38.
To throw, Brissett. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. David Irving. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Flex round. Flex round. Mike 50. Ohio.
Brissett. He sets to fire deep. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Anthony Brown. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
That's it, baby.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So line of scrimmage, still the 39 on 2nd and 10. On second down, Brissett again. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better than it hits the...
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
That right now That's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Dallas, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Seattle, the calendar changed. October didn't help as they dropped to 0-5 on the year. And they'll be back
This boy got his ass whooped
with the New York Jets. And for Charles Davis,
beat the shit out this nigga.
Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Boy, Tyrod Taylor, dog. Nigga, Zeke got hurt. Backup running back came in, 9 for 99. Tyrod, 4 for 93. Third string running back, 3 for 24. Tyrod had 3 fucking touchdowns. Oh, God.